Alright, finally got around to testing these things, and I am very, very surprised. These are all doing very, very good on voltage. Kept our packs together here. We got 12.12 volts on this 3S pack. That's a 12 volt battery. And this one, 12.11. Some of these connections I broke off, so I'm actually only measuring 5 batteries there, but 12.10 there. I'm very, very surprised. 12.33. I did measure each individual cell. 12.33. That's pretty surprising. These, whatever they are going to be 12.15, a little bit lower, and I think this one is actually the lowest. Yeah, this is at 11.78. But they're all very, very good. They're all well charged. None of them are anywhere near dead, so it looks like I'm going to have a nice set of 18650s here to work with. So that's going to be 36 all day. That's cool. So I guess the first order of business will be for me to hook each individual pack up to the iMax and bring it up to 4.2 volts, which is maximum per cell. That's probably a good idea, so I should do that, and then we'll start cycling them, and that's a whole other thing. So I think I'll go ahead and just charge them all up now the next day or two, and then we'll start the cycling process. Okay, it's the next day now, and I'm in the process of charging these batteries back up. As I said, I was going to leave them intact as much as I could and charge them up as a 12 volt battery, and it's working out pretty good. So I've got them hooked up to the iMax B6. This is a really good tool. It works in various different ways. Anyway, I've got it set at 6 amps, and you can see the voltage there on the right there. It's almost fully charged now. It's also giving me some other milliamp information, which isn't important at this time, but the amps have dropped down from 6 amps to 0.7 amps because it's almost fully charged back up, so it will just automatically do that. And then when that thing is done, it'll do a beeping sound and all the rest, and then that one is done, and we can move on to the next one here. And then after that, it's going to be the process of cycling using my new digital charger, which I don't really have much experience with this cool little charger here. So I've got one 12 volt battery pack here charged. I will need to take that all apart and clean those batteries up, and they'll all have to be individual before they go into the new charger. Okay, now we move on to preparing to cycle these batteries. Before we do that, we need to pull them all apart and clean them all up, because they will have glue all over them, as you can see there, and that's pretty easy to get off. So first thing we got to do is start disconnecting these. These have been spot welded at the factory to the cells together. So the best way I can see to do this is to simply take one of my needle nose pliers, and you just grab it here and you start to roll it off, and it breaks that it starts to break it loose. It's not a real strong spot weld, so it's pretty easy to get off there. And although this one's being a little difficult, well, we finally got that one off. So we'll just do one here, and you pull the stickers off and all that. So myself a little trash bag here. I've already done some of these, and but I wanted to show how to do these. So when you pull the spot welding off, you'll oftentimes end up with all this nice jagged pieces of metal. So again, using your needle nose pliers, you just pull those off. If you don't cut yourself a couple of times on these things, and you're pretty lucky, but usually you'll stab your fingers and stuff. So you get those off. Now I've got some rough type material there, so I'm just going to take this hammer and just gently kind of pound those down. Not getting ridiculous, because you can definitely damage these things. So you're just gently pounding those down, and that's all it takes. And now they're kind of flat. So anyway, with that said, this battery's almost done, but let's go ahead and take this non-sharp butter knife, dull butter knife, and we'll just use that to just simply scrape the glue off of the factory skin here. Pretty easy to damage the skin. There's a sticker under there, so we pull that off, and we just do that, and just kind of pry all that stuff off there. It comes off pretty easy. And that's it. And that's pretty much it. We've got our battery cleaned up enough that it can now go in the charger. So under normal conditions, after having brought all these up with the iMax and then pulling them all apart like this, you would let these things sit for at least 10 days, 2 weeks, or even longer. But since these were pretty much all fully charged beforehand, these have only sat for about 6 hours after fully charging. Actually, they've sat overnight. You'd want to make sure that they're not going to lose their charge. So these should all be pretty close to 4.2 volts. So we'll just check them real quick and see what they're at. 4.16, 4.16, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. So that's close enough. That's practically fully charged. So you can see all the numbers on these. As I said, if you type these numbers in on Google, you'll come up with a nice spec page, factory spec page on these. So now it's time to begin cycling these.